I don't know anything at all about Electro Swing, really, outside of a couple of like songs. And everyone knows about the one Electro Swing song. It's like the one song everyone agrees is good. The Carnival, Caravel, Electric Caravan, is that it? That one? Caravan Palace. Yeah, that's it. The one song, the Lone Digger. Yeah, that one. Everyone likes that song. I really feel like people misunderstood my music preferences. I tend to like OSTs from video games and from anime because they're generally instrumental, which means that I can listen to them and focus on other things. I generally prefer non-lyrical music, or like the lyrical music that I listen to, it tends to be like in the minority, like one in every 20 songs might be lyrical. Like call that autism if you want. But the reason that I like Electro Swing, and you can say it's like a soy Reddit thing or whatever, but like I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of a way of phrasing this so that even people who are going to make fun of me will understand what I'm saying. Because they're already soy facing. But let me see if I can try to put this in like a given way. Okay? Um okay, you know how we were all just admiring JoJo's Bizarre Adventure? Obviously it's great for a number of reasons. Oh, hold on. I guess we're Anyway, let me try to explain this in a way that I think everyone can agree with, okay? You know how we were just admiring the fashion sense of JoJo, or like the drag queens or whatever? I think one of the cool things about them is that they try really hard, right? Like, obviously, if you're going to dress like a JoJo character, you have to like try really hard. You have to like be very, you know, um, very, you have to put effort, you know. Now, I don't put that much effort into my day-to-day outfits, but I do admire people who do, and I admire the passion of people who do. And one of the things that I like about Electro Swing is that I feel like it's conceptually reminiscent of original swing. I mean, of course it is. It's called Electro Swing. And it brings an element of that like era of music that I do think is nice, and it leaves a lot of things that I don't think are nice. And one of the things that I do think is nice is I kind of like the idea of a more high effort outing. Don't get me wrong, like I don't think people should do like elaborate courting rituals to woo their wannabe girlfriends or whatever. But the idea of like getting together and doing something very pointed in a kind of semi-formalistic setting, I think is socially good because the social expectation to try harder with your presentation is something that sometimes can beget positive outcomes. A good example of this, I think, would be dancing, right? Most people don't dance anymore. Like, right? Like, people dance at clubs, but even then, most people kind of just like on the sidelines or just chill, you know? Like, the people who actively dance at your average club are a small minority of the people who actually go there. Um, but that used to not really be the case, right? Ballroom dancing, swing dancing, electro hop, even jazz clubs back in like the 1930s and stuff. Um, a lot of people would dance there. People would go there to dance. And they weren't all good at dancing or whatever, but I guess it's kind of cool to imagine people going out there to like dress in their Sunday best and put a little bit of effort in. And I feel like Electro Swing might be like a kind of reimagined, modern evocation of those ideas, if that makes any sense. Like when I listen to Electro Swing or whatever, it's not just nice because it sounds nice. I think it's nice because the music is like kind of encouraging an environment of high effort collective socializing. And I like jazz for a lot of the same reasons, you know? But that's the idea. Yeah. Um but I think jazz is good for a lot of the same reasons. Mosh pits are a social experiment. They are. However, you must recognize mosh pits are a very, 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 very specific version of what I'm talking about. I do think it's cool when people get out there to like dance with their friends or whatever. A mosh pit is like, yeah, it's like it's you know, yeah, it's a very specific thing. Electro swing makes me want to take swing lessons. I took swing lessons for about half a year. It was really nice. There was a big ballroom that I would go to once a week up in I forget the town, but it's near Los Angeles. Anyway, and it was nice. Not to mention, by the way, lads, if you want to go on out there and meet like a cute dame, all right? Um, I gotta say that Lindy Hop dance class was 50-50, man. There were like 50 men and 50 women there. Um, good way to meet people, if nothing else. You all understand what I'm talking about, right? Like the idea of like a night out. Everything is so low effort these days. And I think that can be in a lot of ways a really, really great thing, but I think there should be a good like option for a high effort thing, you know? And I feel like it's possible to divorce this from social conservatism. Like, do I like the idea of like you're going to ask like you've asked a girl out, what are you going to do? Like you take her to like a jazz club and dance with her or something and you wear like a suit to do so. Do I like that specifically? No. The suits are gay. But can you imagine like a culture of like higher effort social integration in some environments where like or it's like the drag stuff, right? Isn't drag this to an extent? Like you when you have people perform in drag, like that is often dancing, often performance that involves like incredibly intricate outfits. Um, you know. Yeah, I guess like the only thing that I'm trying to say is that while I personally don't put effort in that much, I do feel like it's cool to have social spaces where where people are expected to put in more effort. But that's the point. It's not about the music itself. It's about evoking the, like cabarets and stuff. I guess what I mean is when I used to talk with my grandparents, I'd get like the whole back in my day when you went out with a girl, you'd wear a sweater vest and a tie and a shirt, with the nice dress shoes, and like I'd listen to this and roll my eyes. And I still do, but the thing that I do like is that there's an avenue that you can uh put in a little more effort and have expectations associated with that. I get how do I okay, my preference for meeting people is meeting people off Tinder and like raw dogging them the hour after I meet them. That's me, okay? But I think it would be cool if it was possible to do something other than that, which was not about being sexually reserved, but was more about mutual peacocking, where people feel like there's a need to put in their best. Because oftentimes, casual is interpreted as I don't have to put in any effort. Nobody puts in any effort to texting each other. Like people are boring as fuck in conversation. A lot of people just want to hook up and it's like, well, I've got a pussy, they've got a dick, like fucking whatever. Like people put in low effort, they don't put effort or thought into things they do, gifts they give, events they attend, locations they go to, any like they don't make an effort to impress people. Everything is just so casual. Everyone just like it's because it's uncool and weird if somebody puts a lot of effort in. I've heard people talk about that. Like if a person puts too much effort or thought into like a date or something, it comes off as off-putting. Again, I I want to be clear about it. Like I'm not saying that I am just like waiting for the opportunity to like effortlessly court everyone that I fuck or whatever. I'm just saying like if there I feel like it should be something you could do in either direction. You know what I mean? Like you can have like the super casual hookups or whatever, but it can also be socially acceptable for there to be avenues where because right now the only places where people have that level of social expectation put on them are stiflingly conservative places, like a fucking church visit, like that's the place where it's like, oh, you want to meet someone? Oh, yeah, let's go meet in church or whatever. It's like you're all wearing suits or whatever. It's like, oh, great, how sexy. It's hardly like a jazz, like a a little jazz concert or whatever. Weddings? Yeah, well, weddings aren't really a reliable. What actually, weddings are a rare example of this still being in place if the wedding is cool. If you're like friends with the groom or the bride or both or whatever, like you show up in a zoot, yeah, you show up in your zoot suit, and a wedding is an environment where you can be expected to like dance it up and like be on your Sunday best and like put in a lot of effort to impress everyone. Does anyone else feel like we should put in more effort to impress people? Maybe I'm just venting my personal problems here, but um I feel like so often people don't understand the difference between being casual and being like perceptibly disinterested. There's a big difference between those things, you know? A person can be casual but put in a lot of effort with being casual, and the effort is good. It's good to put effort into life and the things in it, you know? Now I think this is a you thing. Maybe it is. I think we should be trying our best often. I think it's good to try your best, you know? I think life is better when you're trying your best. Another thing that really bothers me is that I feel like oftentimes, especially when you've just recently met somebody, like you don't get their full personality. You get like the very basic, very like cut down version of their personality that they're like comfortable showing you at the beginning, and you have to know them for a certain length of time before it opens up. And the problem is like if you know a person fully, every person is unique. But if you've only known a person for a little bit, I swear to God, there are like 10 girls on Tinder. And that's it. There are like 10 people on Tinder who all have that's the 10 personalities and they just look a little different, you know? Now, I blow past this because I don't have an introductory period. I am as aggressively autistic from the word go as I will be 10 years in. Vermin can attest this because I just saw them in chat. I did not remember this, but apparently the first date that I ever had with Vermin, I was rambling about a video game idea that I had. Yeah. Like I absolutely, and that's a deliberate choice on my part because when I realized that like in high school that I was kind of like socially different from other people, I had the choice either to like repress elements of my personality to make it more palatable or just lean into it and be just sort of confident about it. And I leaned really hard into the latter, and I'm glad that I did. Um, but if nothing else, it means that any set of interactions with me, even if it's like first date material, will be interesting. But a lot of the fucking first dates I have, like people are so reserved and so I don't know if it's they're boring or they're like afraid of showing any effort because it would mean like more investment on their part. But I feel like I don't know, I feel like effort is cool and people are fucking boring if they're not putting in effort. Everyone is because we got sushi and you said my eyebrows were geometric like it's a compliment. I still think about that. Ha! True. We stand for the flag and kneel for the cross here, folks. Look, you guys get what I mean, right? I hope you do. It's just a little bit sad when you meet people and they're not it's not even that they're not putting in their all. It's like they're like afraid of the social consequences of putting in a little bit more. Just like a little teeny bit more effort, you know? Um and again, I'm not saying I'm some kind of like amazing, you know, whatever. I'm just saying I think yeah, some people have been hurt so badly. A lot of it, I don't think it's people being hurt badly. I think a lot of it is people being like insecure. A lot of people are insecure to be like direct with their personalities because they're afraid of being judged for them. And let's be real, a lot of them are also like kind of like pieces of shit who don't think the people that they're hooking up with are deserving of any like attention or effort or whatever. Listen, I'm not good at getting gifts. I'm not good at planning events or in fact most anything in life. But if there's one thing that I'm good at, everyone in my life, you guys, everyone knows, I love talking. I'll never stop. I love talking. I never shut the fuck up. You hook up with me, I'll pick you up in my car. I will talk the entire way we drive to a thing. I will talk while waiting for the food. I will talk not through the food. I hate talking while eating. But once the food is done, I will resume my talking. I will talk while we're undressing. I will talk while we're making out. I will talk while we're having sex. I will talk while we're in the shower. I will talk. I would nonstop. And by talking, I don't mean not letting them talk. I just mean like I will continue to engage in conversation, and it will be good conversation. I'm not asking you about the weather. I will talk about any literally fucking anything. I will talk about 40k lore. You think I haven't before? Tell me, Vaush, have you in fact recited 40k lore to a Tinder hookup in the past? Obviously. What are you, stupid? Yeah, of course. If you tell it good, it's a good story. Well, it's a million stories, really. But you know, obviously. Um, and you can always find ways to play it in, you know? Always, always. Yeah, it's good. 40k lore. No, I've never talked about 40k lore while having sex, only just on the date. But like that's where I put effort into. You know, what do people say? Like what is your love language? My love language is English, you fucking retard. That's what I'm here for, okay? That's where I put my effort in. I will engage you in conversation. Um, you know, but a lot of people just don't want to Don't want to put in any effort. It can get, it can get a little one-sided. So you have no social filter then? No, it's not a lack of a social filter. It's more of like, I guess, more of a disregard for it is kind of the, I think it's the difference between not having a filter and just like deciding to move the filter off, I guess. Um, but also it's not impossible to do stuff like this. Oftentimes doing stuff like this makes people like comfortable, you know? Um, Silence can be pretty disquieting for people who are insecure or who are awkward. For me it is because I get bored. Um, so having a person who just talks relentlessly, as long as they're not talking over you, like, converses relentlessly, can be good. Has a date ever asked you to shut up? Nope. What's the difference between lore and canon? Lore refers to backstory. Canon refers to any element of a story that is accepted as official. Would you shut up if they asked? If a date asked me to shut up in those words, I would probably just end the date. Unless it's like done playfully. Like if they were rude about it, like that's super fucking rude. Like I'm just chatting about them with something I care about, and they're like, "Shut up!" Like fucking what? Like if they did it in some cutesy way, or it was clearly like deliberate, uh, sort of playful behavior, then that could be fine. Shouldn't be egotistical about it. Has a date tried but couldn't get a word in? Well, if that was the case, how could I know? I'm happy to hear other people talk. I don't mean that I keep talking in the sense that like I talk over them. It's just I don't let the conversation stop. Sometimes this is very easy to do, sometimes it's not. Yeah, unhinged rambling, yeah. What if they're trying to enjoy the movie, though? Ah! Would you keep trying to talk to somebody who is busy? Busy doing what? Like sucking my dick? We're on a date. What do you mean? Um, I don't talk at all in the theater. If I'm if I'm if I'm in the theater, I'm completely silent. I don't like talking at all when I'm watching stuff. Vermin again can attest. See, a testament. And Vermin loves shit talking me, so you know they're telling the truth. Um, yeah, I don't talk in the theater. I don't know if I would. I don't know if I have I ever just gone to a theater on a first date. I don't know if I would want to go to a theater on a first date unless it was like unless you could like have your hand on their ass or something like the whole time. Like that. I understand the point of a theater date is like you both have something to occupy your time at the beginning and then something to talk about afterwards. But like I don't know. A drive is the best. I unironically feel like just going on a drive can be one of the best first dates. It's just like a really weird, also like you don't want to give the impression that you're a serial killer. Yeah, totally Tempest. Or a walk. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Depending on where you are, if there's like a good place to walk. Like seriously do a picnic. Depends on the weather. Also, again, picnic first date, that is very high effort. By the standard of like when you're meeting most people off Tinder, that is a very high effort first date. Um, you know, because it costs money. Picnics can be expensive because you have to get like food that's good for a picnic and stuff. Yeah, and a lot of stuff can go wrong as well. It can be bugs, ants, whatever. My go-to is coffee and a walk. Coffee and a walk is good. Yeah. There's always like potential fuck ups or whatever. The main thing that I hate, I don't like going straight to a person's place though. Actually, I think it can depend. You should never go straight to a person's place or like vice versa anyway for safety reasons to vibe check people beforehand. But yeah, I never invite people over to my place because I have like landmines buried in the front yard. But um, going over to another person's place can be fine.